A-level physics students, here is a revision plan. Let me know what you want me to cover next for the rest of you guys. So let's say you're a physics student, you're kind of comfortable with the content, there's still some gaps left, and you've done a little bit of textbook questions. Don't jump into a past paper right now because you're going to waste your time. So let's take, for example, AS level physics. Let me know if you want me to reproduce this for other subjects. So with AS level physics, let's pick waves. So let's say in week 1 of the Easter holiday, you want to cover waves. How would you do it? The best thing to do is your mornings will be your content block, and your evenings, Monday to Sunday, these will be your question time. Now, how do you actually go through the content? So with AS physics waves, you have polarization, interference and diffraction. You also have progressive and stationary waves, and then you also have refraction, generally, depending on the exam board. So in your morning block, what I would do is probably start off with interference and diffraction because that comes up the most and there's a lab element to it. Cover that there, interference and diffraction, then go straight to questions, okay? In the PM, the kind of questions you should be doing: 1, go to the textbook to build familiarity with the concepts. I know it's easy, but you need to get the concepts down. Then go to online solution bank questions, which are just a past paper compilation. Then Tuesday, I would then move on to refraction. This is also a very common one that comes up. And also you need to know how to describe an experiment for it. Then in the evening, I would repeat these type of questions. However, for interference and diffraction, the ones where they are more likely to have lab-based questions like paper 3 style, I would review these as well. So paper 3 style. Then on the Wednesday, I would just move on to the next chapter in that module. So for example, it could be stationary and progressive waves. And then you repeat. So if I was a science student in general, your content block, allocate more time to the modules that include both traditional theoretical content and lab-based questions. However, if it's a topic where there isn't really much lab-based questions that can come up, then 1 morning will suffice. However, for the former, maybe 2 mornings back-to-back will work. This is what we're covering in our intensive Easter exam sprint. 1, mastering exam technique. 2, revision plans like this for the final 10 weeks. And 3, working under time conditions, because that's where a lot of you drop silly marks and make errors. For a spot, DM sprint, and we'll be in touch.